All right, well, it's actually pretty simple. Division is the inverse of multiplication. Again, we are going to follow the same set of rules that we followed for addition equations and subtraction equations. We're going to figure out what's happening to the letter. We're going to do the exact opposite, and then we have to do it to both sides of the equal sign. Okay, Elijah? So just remember that 4m means 4 times m. You got a number and a letter right next to each other. It means that you're multiplying them. Okay? So we got 4m equals 32. What is that telling me, Kennedy? I'm multiplying 4 and m to get 32. Okay? Tell me. This, I will tell you, this is just like when you were first learned multiplication, like probably in like 2nd, 3rd grade. Okay? You got 4 times box equals 32. This is exactly what we're doing. Except now we're in 6th grade, so we do 4m instead of 4 times box. Okay? And we're also going to prove how this works. Now, what's my first rule of algebra? Shouldn't even have to look at it. What's my first rule? Find out what's happening to the letter. What's happening to the letter in this situation, Xander? M is being multiplied by 4. Okay, we found that out. Step number 1, we figured it out. It's being multiplied by 4. What's step number 2, Wilbert? Yeah, look. Do the exact opposite. What's the exact opposite of multiplying by 4? Dividing by 4. Watch this. Remember, this is our fancy 6th grade way of doing division. Because every fraction you've ever seen is a division problem. Did you know that? Did you know that every fraction you've ever seen is actually a division problem? It is. Cool fact. Go home tonight. Parents ask you what you learned at school today. You can say, every fraction I ever saw is actually a division problem. End of conversation. Then you can go back to eating your mac and cheese. All right? Now, what's 4 divided by 4? 1. Okay, so now we've got 1m. Hey, what's 1 times 4? What's 1 times 5? What's 1 times 7? What's 1 times m? We don't need it. All we need is the m. Okay? Equals. Uh-oh. We got a teeter-totter. We got to do step number 3. What's step number 3? Yep. Divide by 4 here. What's 32 divided by 4? 8. This is how you show your work on these problems. When you arrive in my class tomorrow, Hunter, and your homework doesn't look like this, what am I going to say? I'm going to say, sorry, you didn't show your work. You're going to have to do it right. Okay? We're not even going to look at that. Solve the equation. First, step number 1. What's step number 1 of algebra? What's rule number 1 of algebra? Find out what's happening to the letter. So, what's happening to the letter in this situation? It's being multiplied by 5. What's step number 2 of algebra? Dylan. You do the exact opposite. What's the exact opposite of multiplying by 5? By? Yes. Okay. When we take 5 divided by 5, we end up with 1, which basically ends up canceling it. We end up with p by itself. Okay? Now what do we do? Anna? Do the exact same thing to the other side. What's 75 divided by 5? You sure? Oh yeah. Again, I don't know, brain fart. Cool. Okay. This is how you show your work. Got to look like that. If it doesn't look like that, you're going to be disappointed because I'm going to tell you you have to redo it. Okay, on your whiteboards. Everybody show me that one. Oh, it's confusing though. The R is on the other side. Don't worry about it. So, step number one. Step number one. Gracie. And what is it? It's being multiplied by 8. What's the opposite of multiplied by 8? By 2 to both sides. We're left with R over here. Divide by 8 on this side. We end up with 2. Perfect. Let's look at them. See if there's a word problem for us to do. The area of a rectangle is 56 square inches. Its length is 8 inches. What is its width? You have to remember how to find area of the rectangle. How do you find area of a rectangle? Length times width. So we got L times W equals A. Let's start plugging our numbers in. 56 is the area. So we got 56 here. Its length is 8. So we got 8 W. Oh, weird. That looks like a problem we know how to do, doesn't it? Except you guys figured it out, and those of you that have your boards up that say 7. 7 what? Hippopotamuses? 7 what? Inches. Okay? Divide by 8 here, divide by 8 here. This goes away. We're left with W equals 7 inches. Okay? Your homework. Page 83 and 84. Eight to 17 all. And then I also want you to do 18 to 38 even. And I will tell you this. You also may use a calculator if you need it. Calculator, okay.